Hello everyone and my grant subscribers. You're welcome to Updates Grant channel, where we give you the latest and updated version of the UAAG disbursement funding. If you're new on my channel, please consider subscribing by clicking the notification bell so that whenever we publish our new content, you'll be kindly notified. Thank you so much for subscribing and God bless.
In today's session, we'll look critically at three concepts of urgent grant subscribers concern, which includes but not limited to the return of IMF after the 28th of July 2025 and the failure of disbursements to occur in July. Secondly, we will consider the popularly promoted pioneer slot and the ongoing registration for projects in the grant ecosystem. And finally, we will again point a search of dim light on when disbursement is going to take place. First of all, let's consider the first concern of this session. If you are new to our channel or haven't subscribed, turn on the subscription button and activate the notification bell. Hence, when we publish our updates in days ahead, you'll be immediately notified. The first concern of this session focuses on the return of IMF to the country after July 28th. All this while, we have been informing you that the IMF is non-existent in the activities towards this grant disbursement, especially in this month of July. Finally, 28th is over and we have not seen IMF meeting the presidency or carrying out any official grant activity in Nigeria. That should confirm to you that IMF never traveled to anywhere to kickstart disbursement, because we haven't even heard of disbursement kickstarted by IMF elsewhere in Africa. So what actually caused delay in disbursement? The July is already ending. The truth is, this grant that everyone is anticipating to receive their alert is quite controversial in entirety. Most often what we discover is at the point of disbursement, a certain administrative activity pops up and those that are facilitating the grant have to undertake that administrative process before they bring about the disbursement. So a few days ago, especially starting from Monday, there's a certain activity that the government authorities asked the facilitators of this grant or the grant handler to carry out to bring about disbursement. You might have witnessed that nobody's talking about MOU anymore. And if NGO CEOs supposed to sign MOU before receiving the fund, then they should have been signing of MOU all this while waiting for disbursement to take place on the 28th. Therefore, since MOU were not signed this month, technically, it signals two things. Disbursement might not take place in July because the signing of MOU will take time on its own. And the second factor is the CEOs may not sign MOU before receiving the alert. So that is exactly what is ongoing right now. It seems the government is not going to undertake the MOU process tactically because of the delay it will take again and unsettle the entire gains that has been established towards disbursement. So we witness the government authorities inviting the grant handler to appear and carry out another very sensitive documental activity. Some of you might have witnessed that your own facilitator of this grant called for submission of certain sensitive documents. Yes, there is segmentation. Not everyone is actually submitting these details. Some of you might have heard it in OCG's voice note a few days ago, saying people should revalidate their data. Those stakeholders, those representatives already know themselves. Those that have coordinated NGOs under them have already submitted these details a few days ago and is currently ongoing in the capital city of the Federation. Therefore, technically, from feedback we got yesterday, they have agreed again on a new date for disbursement to take place. And before we end this video, we are going to reveal this new date set by the government for disbursement to commence. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe immediately and activate the notification bell. Hence, when we publish our next content, you'll be notified immediately. Now let's look at the pioneer slots, the popularly marketed pioneer slots. On this channel, we inform you that this entire grant activity is designed in two parts, which is the cash disbursement and the projects. All this while, we haven't informed you that registration for project is ongoing. A lot of people who don't even have access to those authorities that have been carefully selected to coordinate the project have been marketing the slots all the while. In our last video, we inform you that there are certain audience of citizens of this country that are coordinating or going to execute the project. And some of you on this channel asked me who are those special audience. These grants that you have been anticipating the alert have several other audience that are facilitating it. People of high influence and repute in this country, across the regions and the zones. And those people are the ones that are having an interface with the authorities, meeting government at the villa. And these are the people that are first selected to take the project first before it comes to the masses. So all this while that we haven't informed you to move ahead to register for project was because the project was not left open for registration by the masses. A lot of people have been registering for the Pioneer slot, wasting their money. And look at the game in all this activity. They did not inform the subscribers that Pioneer is a project. They started in telling you to pay 50,000 to receive 500 billion naira. Quite a hilarious amount of money. And rational thinkers don't ask themselves, how can you pay just 10,000 or 20,000 to receive 50 billion? How much is the entire volume of this grant itself? Consider the audience of people that are already registering for the Pioneer slot across several platforms. They are already over 5,000. So assuming you as a beneficiary registering for this Pioneer is to receive, say, 500 billion, then times 5,000 people. Just calculate by 1,000 people, 500 billion times 1,000 registrants. How much is that? It's in quadrillions, not even in trillions. It's in quadrillions. It's quite delusional for anyone to believe he will pay 20 or 50 or 100,000 to receive 100 billion naira. This already itself has invalidated the Pioneer registration. And people are still registering. Therefore, the registration was not thrown open to the masses all this while. They have carefully assigned the project to those who have been at the forefront of the grant struggle since the era of 2014 to 2025 we are. And these are the big wigs scattered across the northeast, north central, southwest, southeast, and south-south. After careful consideration of these people, that is where a remnant will be then thrown open to the masses. If you are among those audience that register for the Pioneer, wait for your disbursement. If you don't have access for registering for projects, I'm not saying Pioneer, for projects, I will drop the WhatsApp number of my admin before the end of this video. You chat the admin up, or you click on the description of this YouTube channel to join a WhatsApp group where the admin will guide you on a legitimate process of registering for the project. And people are asking, what is this project all about? Project is diverse. Those that have applied for project are to present proposals that reveals what type of projects they want to execute in a given local government that they are assigned to. If you're asking what type of project it is, every local government or state have its own unique need. So you don't expect to execute a project in South-South, the same project in Southwest or Northeast or North Central. So project is regional based on the need and the expectation of the people there. So you might supply agricultural input to farmers in your own local government if eventually you secure project in a local government. So that becomes your project. Then you will tender your own proposal revealing how you are going to supply agricultural input to those people in the community. Then if it is about supplying of equipment or empowerment items to artisans and those that have acquired vocational skills, that is a project on its own. If it is a community that water is their basic need, then you will drill boreholes in those communities. If it is school or medical centers that are deficient, that is your own project. So you need to study a given region of the country you expect project from and design your proposal to fit the need of those areas. So project is not one, it's unique based on need of the region you are executing the project. Importantly, you need to be aware that these projects are not registered with tokens of 10, 20, 50,000 naira. Nobody will award a project of, say, 300 to 500 million naira to you with a token of 20 or 50,000 naira. Few days ago, we established contact with an authority that's going to execute some of these projects in the country in the weeks to come. We have provided an avenue for you to participate despite your own economic state currently. Click this YouTube description option and join the WhatsApp group there, where you will be guided by an admin with 0802-448-5968. Don't call the number. The admin is quite a very busy person. Just chat, or you click the YouTube description here to join the WhatsApp group immediately. Don't expect to receive 100 billion naira as you are going there. It's quite delusional for anyone to expect such amount in this country. The good news is that every project is awarded with a 100% cost margin to accommodate market price or cost fluctuations, a term referred to as price variance allowance or contingency margin. Additionally, every project is awarded with a contractor profit margin factored into the entire project sum itself, and this represents the contractor's net gain after fulfilling all contractual obligations of the project, and assuming after the completion of the project and fulfillment of every operational cost, a total sum of 100 million naira is left behind. This 100 million is what will be shared as net profit amongst all the partners that collectively contribute to secure that project in that local government area. Therefore, I'm emphasizing again, don't join that group and expect to receive 500 billion or 50 billion naira. Those are hilarious, unfeasible, unrealistic amounts. Except a delusional mind will expect to pay 20, 30,000 naira or 50,000 to receive billions of naira. Now let's consider the date of disbursement. Finally, it's no more news that disbursement cannot stop happening in this country. Aware of all the gains and achievements that have been established so far, and even among all the support that has been provided by the government of the day, disbursement is beyond a reality. It's already here. The process has already started. So those that are worrying yourself whether the situation is very extreme, in August you are going to experience a sudden significant financial uplift. Just hold on. Disbursement process has already started and is almost there. Manage and hold yourself. You are going to receive disbursement. This process cannot fail. We won't be coming onto this channel if disbursement is not going to be a reality. For still turning out here, despite the failures and the frustrations. Yes, it's true. In every worthwhile activity, you have to consider failures and frustrations, just as you are considering the successes and the gains. So we have given different dates. Yes, those dates were equally given by the stakeholders. They brief us, we equally brief you. And we are briefing you because we don't want you to have hypertension or feel depressed. We want you to keep your hope alive. So those people that keep criticizing us for giving dates that don't turn to reality are not taking cognizance of variabilities, unfathomable realities that keep fighting or bedeviling the process that will bring about a breakthrough of millions of people in this country. Therefore, when these stakeholders brief us, we equally brief our audience. If it fails, then you reprogram your mindset and expect that there's going to be a day that will never fail. And that day is finally in August as we are stepping in. Few days ago, there's a feedback from our stakeholders that the government has again approved disbursements to commence between the 5th and 7th of August 2025. Disbursement is starting on the 5th or 7th of August. So whatever you are doing at the moment, tidy up yourself. The SHOMOL is a document from the EFCC that monitors non-governmental accounts, corporate accounts, companies' accounts, just to ensure there's no fraudulent activity in such accounts. And that is the reason why we tell all NGO CEOs who are maintaining cooperatives and other NGO or foundational accounts, they should not disburse their grants to company account beneficiaries, because this account, the NGO account, is expected to know individuals by name, not facility. Company is a facility. So by the time you disburse funds to a facility, they assume that it is you, the CEO, that is still using 1, 2, or 3, or 4 of your companies to still receive the fund back to yourself. And you will have a case to answer. And I pray no CEO is invited to answer any case. In summary, we may not see signing of MOU in the days ahead, but the current activity that is ongoing has already touched a search of green light on all the NGO accounts. So nobody can disappear with the money. Don't forget, the reason for this recent activity is not to slow down disbursement, but is to ensure that all NGO CEOs that receive this fund will disburse to all beneficiaries without running away with it. So it's actually for the good of all subscribers of this fund, and to equally ensure that those stakeholders that is coordinating you CEOs does not channel the fund to various both cooperative accounts and you missing out. I'm briefing you firsthand just for you to keep holding on, to have peace with yourself. Disbursement is definitely going to take place. This recent validation activity is for the interest of all parties involved. This activity is sensitively monitoring every party, is checkmating all parties, just to ensure there is fairness, transparency, and trueness of the entire disbursement activity as it is commencing. There is an adjustment and increment in this entitlement to the benefit of NGOs and the beneficiaries. In the days ahead, we are going to brief you these new entitlements as approved by the government. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe immediately and activate the notification bell. Hence, as we publish our next update, you will be immediately notified. When you look right now at the door, disbursement is already standing there knocking. Henceforth, be more sensitive than never before. Stay alive, stay secure, stay motivated, because your status is already changing from one who is seeking funds, struggling to survive, to one who is going to distribute funds to thousands of people in this country.